you live the rest of your life? The Kroger Mountains.
I would like to live in Kroger Mountains,
Have you
please.
never been to Kroger Mountain?
I'm just saying no.
It's a pleasant place.
Pretty sure it comes out of the tap.
Don't you dare.
Don't lie.
Yeah, the tap is on Kroger Mountain.
The Tap Man.
I'm putting
It's on Kroger Mountain.
It's just about everything I
Oh,
own.
yeah.
That this is tap water that they fucking put through
Hey.
a filter.
It's not tap water through a filter.
You're giving him way too much credit.
It's not.
It's not through a filter
Just
at
straight aqua water.
Yeah, it's pure.
all. It's pure water.
It's pure aqua.
You ever wonder where water comes from? Where we don't know, but Kroger found it.
Doesn't matter.
They monopolized it in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Wow, it's Ohio water right there.
I didn't even know there was water in Cincinnati, Ohio.
It's the only reason that city exists. It's the creation of all water.
It's where all water came from, all water. That's what created life.
It's where all water came from, all water. Did you know that water comes from water? Oh my god!
What happens
Jesus.
when you mix water with water? You get super water.
Wow, double the electrolytes.
What is that, like body
That's what the
armor or
plants
something?
crave.
That's what the plants crave.
It's when you get that alkaline pH 9.5.
Whoa. Get you extra hydrated.
No, it fucking doesn't. Fuck alkaline water.
Hey.
Everybody drinks alkaline water and thinks it's better
Hey.
for their body's retarded.
It's an extra $1.
They're so dumb.
It's better for me.
It's literally false marketing to
It's
stupid.
better for me.
It's literally marketed to stupid people on purpose.
I don't even
Having
drink
water.
water
That's 9.5 does nothing for your body. Your body craves homeostasis. So if you drink basic water, all your body does is produce more stomach acid to go back down. That's
Sounds
literally all that happens.
Sounds like someone that doesn't drink alkaline water.
I actually buy body armor a lot.
He's like,
Oh, so you do drink
Oh, I'm a
battery
hypocrite.
water.
I just like the taste. But
He's
it's literally just water.
He's over here drinking battery water, acting like he's all high and
Yeah,
mighty.
you're
Dude, if I
alkaline.
could get fucking battery acid in here, you bet.
You can't-
Like, I like the
Would you
bite.
drink battery acid if we brought it for you?
I mean, if I had to die.
I wouldn't let you die for that way.
I would let you die for that way?
Not that way.
It's a different way.
Maybe for
It's
a
a whole.
different
It's
way.
a whole different way. We'll talk about it in another
It's for
episode.
the
Yeah.
cause.
I
You know
have
what
a
that
plan.
causes? You know what that causes? It's the world tree. All glory.
Oh, glory to the world tree. On that note, welcome to Time's Up. I'm Wayne,
I'm Mikey.
I'm Mark
and we're back again doing our usual thing. You know,
for the world tree.
all for the world tree. This episode is brought to you by Cabbage Kings Games.
Sullivan's Irish Pub and Fair.
And the beard struggle.
Hey.
Well, you
Beard
pointed at
struggle.
me first, and I got confused. 'cause
I
you
don't know.
said it.
I pointed and Mark talked. It's just.
I was like, oh no.
It's how it goes. I would prefer if we all just said one.
I was picking up on that vibe, but Mikey, I don't know what kiddie pool
I was
you were
there, and
swimming
I was-
in, but it was in a
I
different
had-
yard.
I don't know what.
I had
kiddie
W.E.
pool
Sullivan's in my brain. Then you said it, and I was like, now what's the next one,
You were
though?
the first one to have a beard struggle.
That's true.
Oh, like the product? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you like the
So I figured
literal.
you had that
I
I
one.
thought
what,
literal the beard struggle. I was
No,
like, I
it's-
never struggled having a
I've
beard.
been using that nighttime beard oil,
Me
man.
forever.
I'm using the
Stuff
beard
is
wash
magnificent.
and the oil, and I've recently started using the balm because I have this beard cowlick.
Yeah, I just take a shower and shave sometimes.
Don't do the last part.
Stop shaving.
Only shower.
Unless you're shaving your legs, then go, keep doing it.
Yeah, I like those silky
You
smooth
do
babies.
you, baby.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Yeah, you do.
I don't shave them.
Well,
I
you
felt
need
you
to
were
stop wearing
smooth,
cheap
buddy.
pants because you're chafed.
Chafed up.
That's just how it is. Living life chafing down one day at a time. How was your week?
Good. I worked as normal.
Apparently sore.
Good news.
Shaved pants.
Good news for Wayne.
Glad I just found out.
Back to the
We
old.
gotta go back to good old Best Buy Monday.
Best Buy.
Somebody's got a job again.
We can no longer make fun of Wayne's fans for
Fantastic.
load.
Well, we absolutely can.
You're
But
right.
It just won't have the same impact.
Ha! You were once for load, but so was I.
You didn't have a job
Yes.
and I did. Haha, I was considered an essential worker at a luxury.
Ha!
golf
You got
course.
paid
I
more
was
than me
conf-
while
I
I
was-
actually worked.
Just shucks, man.
Oh no!
It did, man. I wish it were that case if they didn't take so long to give him unemployment
This is
until this week.
They gave it to you.
Yeah, I
How
finally got
long is it?
unemployment paid
So was
this
it
week.
5 weeks out of
5
work
weeks,
and they
yeah.
finally gave it to you.
Yeah, they finally gave me one payment.
Are you gonna get the rest, or are they just not?
Oh,
giving it
they're
to you?
gonna give me the rest. It's just they're gonna give me the rest. I'm just not gonna tell them I have a job until they give me the rest.
That's some tax fraud.
That's super illegal.
Now you said it
everybody
on
knows.
video.
I'll give a fuck.
You should.
State of Illinois should not be so crappy.
You should.
So
R. Kelly.
look out for our new show, Marky and Wayne might, and not Wayne.
I like how you don't even know anybody's name anymore.
Who are you guys getting?
Well,
Turns out Mark's drunk this episode.
We've talked to Mark 20 minutes in the past week.
I haven't been doing a whole lot of the words.
He hasn't been doing a whole lot of the being online and talking to us or
I haven't
hanging
been
out.
doing a whole lot of being alive.
He's just been,
He's been working
somewhere.
and sleeping like a lazy bum.
working like a
Working and
fucking-
sleeping like a lazy bum.
Is that all you've been doing? Just sleeping and working? pretty much?
I've been doing a lot of sleeping. I've been doing some recording, but not a lot. Because I've been talking about wanting to make that video.
That was the 20 minutes we talked to him. He got on. Wayne went to do some. Mark talked to me for a little bit about making a video. Then he said, I'm going to go make this video and I don't want you guys talking to my call.
Because the way it has it set up right now, I just record the audio that comes through my headset.
And you
So I
pick
just
us
don't
up.
give them a call. And I don't record my mic either because I just want the game to record so that way I can have the game audio.
So you're
in
gonna
the
do
background.
voiceovers over it?
Uh,
You just gotta voice
If
over
I
it?
talk at all, voice over it, but I don't even know if I'm going to talk in it. It might just be just a playthrough with fucking bunch of memes smacked on her.
Wow. What a
I
guy.
mean, put some entertainment value on.
Yeah.
I'd probably talk over certain points to let people know what you're
Well,
doing.
I'll definitely have to introduce the video and leave the video
So
at the very least. I
when
gotta
can
put
the
some
people
effort.
look
Just do it
forward
like
to
a-
seeing your YouTube debut?
That's up in the air right now. So I've got a couple hours recorded that I can edit through. But what I have recorded, I personally don't feel like is enough to make a video that I would be happy with. I don't expect to make, a movie out of it. I'm not going to
Gotcha.
make the perfect video.
You're not gonna make Fallout 76 the movie.
No. But I want to have a
Whatever,
video
though.
that I'm at least happy with. I want to look at it and be like, yeah.
Yeah.
And so where I am now with the gameplay recordings that I have, it's just not enough. So I need to record more, and then I need to set a goal because I just hopped into it. It's like I'm just gonna play, and I'll make a video out of it. But there's no goal, so it's just gonna be aimless if I keep going. Right now, my
Gotcha.
guy's a low enough level, and there's not a lot of stuff recorded, so I can salvage that. But if I do anything from here on with that character that I've made, I'm gonna have to have a goal, or else I'm gonna have to start all over. I won't have any footage that I can scrap together.
Okay,
Makes sense.
So it should be.
but
You're
you're
not
making
just
some
wandering
progress.
around.
On it.
Doing
I've
nothing.
been learning a little bit more about Blender. Blender's,
So you're using to edit.
yeah, I'm gonna use Blender to edit. I've been learning more about it. Still got to figure out some stuff, but it's been better. I've been watching some videos on it to help figure out the basics of it because there's really no super good tutorial on Blender's website about how to use their video editor.
Makes sense.
That
So
doesn't
it's
surprise
not
me
it's
at
not
all.
the main sell of their free product.
Yeah.
What is the main sell on their free product?
VFX and 3D rendering and modeling. A lot of people use it to create characters and environments for games. It's got a huge. It's a free program and it's got a huge
Library.
ability. It's got a huge capacity for editing and 3D modeling
Okay.
and animation. Like you can create almost anything you want. Like if you're good enough, if you have the technical ability, you make Hollywood level VFX and CGI on it if you wanted
Wow.
to.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty interesting. I didn't know about Blender until you brought it
Did
up.
you guys ever mess with the stick figure animation things, like on
I made
random website? I forgot. It was-
no, but I remember making stick figure animations in Adobe Flash. And
Really?
God, I hate Adobe Flash.
The one that I used was like
Adobe Flash is pretty awful.
was one that you downloaded. It was just called stick figure animations, and you could like download weapons that were made out of stick figures, and they fired and like have working
Beat a dude with a dude.
everything.
never-
yeah,
Never did that.
it was fun. It was super easy to use.
I
and
used to
super
like
fun.
make like stick figure movies in like post-it notes in school.
like stop
Oh,
motion.
flip books.
Yeah, little flip books.
All I remember was the stick figure attack or whatever, where it was the guy on the old like Windows 95 startup
Yeah.
screen or the Windows Vista screen, and he was
Someone
And
with
he's
the
fighting the
mouse.
dude, yeah.
I remember the mouse.
He was fighting him with the mouse and
Yeah.
throwing the icons at him.
That was
Yeah.
cool. I
That was
liked
like the video.
Yeah,
The video's a very
really
entertaining
well done.
video.
That's old.
How was your week, Mikey? What'd you do?
I worked. Found out that you and Lockwood were coming back to work, so made me want this week to be over so I could actually
Get into next week and work with your
not
friends
want
again?
to go home 2 hours after I get to work. Have entertainment. Got my dog today.
Yeah.
About it though.
Little Ronin.
Little Ronin, little cute boy, German Shepherd boy.
We didn't do anything else at all throughout the week.
Went shooting.
We did.
Oh, there you go.
I
I was
thought
like-
that was a little exciting.
I was
but
like,
I'm
hold
so
on
glad
a
that-
second.
just
the
fuck
time we
us, I
spent
guess.
together as friends was just nothing to you.
I mean, I shot, but I didn't shoot a ton.
No.
I mainly wanted to I mainly wanted Nick to shoot my guns.
I didn't shoot it all.
So he
Show
could-
him off.
Yeah,
I wasn't
that's
bad.
like half of the
The
fun of owning a gun is having other people that
Just to
like
brag about it. Like, look at this gun.
like guns to be like, look how cool my gun is.
I'm like, oh,
And
it's
they're like,
cool.
wow, I like that. And I'll be like, yeah,
I think he had a fun time when he was out there doing it.
I think he did.
Probably you got to shoot some cool stuff.
It's mad decent guns.
Found out my gun shoots fireballs.
Lockwood, yeah.
It's fantastic.
Wayne's
told
new
about that.
A
comp.
new compensator makes the gun shoot fireballs.
It's loud. It made it way louder than it
It's
was.
a lot louder.
It booms now. Like my AR that fires 7.62 isn't as loud as Wayne's.
If you thought you needed your
5.56.
protection before, now you need
Oh yeah, you need it for sure.
It'll
It's
make
just
you
really
flinch
nice.
no matter what, because that shoots like concussive waves to the side way more now. Nothing goes out the bottom because there's no holes, so it just goes sides.
Just to the
not-
sides, yeah. It's a lot of fun. I didn't know it was gonna shoot fireballs, and then it did, and I was just super excited about it. First magazine I put through it, I'm like, I'm
Which that's
excited.
yours is a muzzle brake, like a compensator that compensates for muzzle rise.
Yes.
Where what I'm gonna get for my AR 7.62 has no practical value. It just directs the flash and sound towards where you're shooting.
Okay.
So it just makes it louder and makes a fireball as well. But it serves no other purpose. Like yours has a purpose to reduce muzzle rise.
Yes, and it does.
Yeah, when you do it, because it shoots the gas up, which makes your barrel go down.
Mikey's is just cool.
Mine's just gonna be loud, which that gun is all about, being loud. There's
It
nothing
is a lot
about
of fun though. I like shooting my gun more now that it's got. I also use Mikey's new windowed mags, which are really
Mhm.
cool.
Mags are really nice.
They hold a little bit more ammo than they say.
I put it all in there. There was only 30. I packed it when I got home. There was
I
only
definitely
30.
had 31 in there.
Oh, you also ejected a round that you claim was not in your, that you didn't do already,
I don't know why it was in there, to be honest.
because you racked it.
I
I watched you do it.
didn't think I racked it.
Somebody between the two of these people doesn't know how to count.
I mean, I just thought there was extra bullets in there because when the bullets that you brought, I used it and I definitely only put in what I thought would have been 30. But then when I counted to put them in the other 30 round magazine so that way Nick could shoot it, there was only 29.
Mhm.
So unless one bullet was just missing,
There is one bullet missing.
did you take one?
Yep. I have 2 mags at home that I use for
This
my
monster.
2 magazines, and I remember taking one of those X-Tac things and pulling one bullet out because I was like, why is there only 29 rounds here? And I put 130. I forgot about that.
Yep. So you did take a bullet.
The
out
mystery
there.
is
So
solved.
there
So
was
that's
not
why it
30,
was
but it was
weird.
because I forgot that I stole a round out of there.
Ah, it's all come full circle now.
Only thing we're missing is a dog and a whole gaggle of kids. Scooby Doo solved this mystery.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
I don't understand how you didn't know Scooby Doo.
Because you just said a dog and a gaggle of kids.
What is the first thing you would think of when hearing that?
A dog and a
dog and
gaggle of
kids.
kids.
Yeah, and I think Scooby Doo.
But they're not. They're frisky teens. They're not kids.
Why are you calling them frisky?
You seen Daphne and you seen Fred look at each other. You tell me they ain't gonna be frisking.
I'm more of a
All the
Vilma
guys
guy.
you've seen.
More of a
Look
Vilma
at you,
guy.
a
He
man
says,
of culture.
I am.
"You've been playing too many weird games." So we're here playing like Summertime Saga and stuff.
I don't know what the
Oh,
fuck
God,
that is.
No, don't. You're
I
good.
won't.
Found out about it from a bunch of people at work. It's a really messed up
No,
game.
you're okay. You
It's
know,
really neat.
Doki Doki Literature Club.
I know what that is.
I
It's
don't
just
know what that
Monica.
is.
Yeah, I know
Oh,
what
you
that
don't
is.
need
I
to.
don't know what that
I know
one
what
is.
that
It's
is.
not nearly as bad as Summertime Saga.
No.
It's a different kind of bad.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
Like, Summertime Saga is bad, but it's a different kind of bad than you know from Doki Doki Literature Club. They're both not good games.
Both not good.
Was it new? Do you guys go on Newgrounds games a lot when you were younger?
Sometimes.
No.
There was like an adult section.
Of course there was.
It was just like
And you found it.
that kind of game.
He
Yeah,
went-
I
he
was
went-
fucking like 13.
He went looking
What
for
am I
it.
gonna
He's
do?
like, "Where'd you do that, man?"
I was playing Stalingrad 2, where it's like a tower defense game, and I was like, "A dog game? What is this?" I was like, "Whoa!"
I'm a grown up. I'm 13. I make choices. Oops.
It was like, "Are you 18?" I was like, "Yeah." And then I had to do the math of what would be 18. So I was like, yeah,
It's
of
actually
course-
pushing your actual
Of course, I
birthday
was
and
born
stuff.
on this fucking year.
Of course, I was born in the 80s.
Yeah, clearly 82.
Doesn't make sense to you guys.
I normally
now,
went back
but-
to like fucking like 60s or like 70s or something. I was like, yeah, I'm way good.
Speaking of going back in age, I can't remember what it was. I think it was on Bethesda. I was on the Bethesda launcher and it told me to input my age. And I could go all the way back to like 1893. I was like, no one is still
No
alive
one.
from 1893.
You don't know that.
I was like, and if they are,
They live in Fort Knox.
Well, if they are, they're not on here. They're not trying to play Doom Eternal.
Yeah, they are.
You never know, dude. They live in Fort Knox. If they are
They're
alive,
fighting those demons.
they're locked away because they know some secret shit we don't know.
I'm putting them in with the gold.
Exactly.
Just bury them in the gold.
Gold and all the
Maybe
most
that's the
important
secret.
weapons in the world.
That's a secret to staying alive. Invest in your precious metals, kids.
Lock it away in Fort Knox.
Put my arms up here.
Is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah, I'm getting
Stretch
hot.
on out.
I'm getting hot, and I don't like my arms.
Just
being
don't
close
touch
to
my
me.
belt.
Ooh.
You
Hey, he didn't touch
animal.
anything. I watched it. You didn't see it. I did.
Yeah,
I
He
could
didn't challenge
see.
you.
I could feel it through the belt.
could
You're
you?
gonna have to wait.
This belt is an expression of me. Quit touching it. Leave her be.
I didn't even do anything yet. I've been struck.
Stop. It's my belt. I'm the champion.
Oh, he claimed it. I'm out.
You moaf.
It's a different
You
fight.
ain't ready.
Oh no!
We're the back to back.
World.
We're definitely filming that. We're definitely gonna do it.
Yeah, that would be
It's
I
good.
gonna
think it'll be
happen.
hilarious.
We
Keep
gotta do
an
it
eye
soon,
on
though.
my YouTube channel for that. 'cause
We gotta
that's
do
where
it
it's going
really
when it's
soon.
done.
That'd be fun. I think it'll be really fun.
That'd be very good.
Probably sometime this week for sure.
Well, it
Do
has
the
to
kayak.
be. It's
I
gotta
mean,
be
it
ready by
has
the end
to
of the
be.
week.
Well, I mean, we don't have to do the kayak part. We
We
can
really
literally
just have you with like a backdrop, just like a shitty, or just against a wall.
We can literally just
Like
do
a press
it
conference.
here
We'll have one of these
anywhere
lights shining on you real bright.
else. Just switch the filters.
I
over.
really do like the
Raise it
idea
up.
of the field and just be like, ooh.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, I could honestly probably do it tomorrow.
We need to get like a crappy karaoke mic or something so people can be interviewing you.
Yeah.
I don't think I have an old microphone still. No, I sold it.
Can we just use one of these?
We could just have him hold the
Just
snowball
hold
up.
it in there. Like, talk to this, please.
Well, just why don't you use your AT 2020?
What do you mean?
Just unscrew it.
Oh, I don't want to unscrew it.
Hmm.
It's a pain in the ass.
Whatever.
Wants to shoot a dope ass video, doesn't want to put any effort into it.
I do. It'll be. It's just gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. is
We'll
what
just
it's
get a
gonna be.
paint fucking stir.
For all we
with a
know, this
foam
is gonna
top
open
to
a
it.
lot of different doors for us when we do that.
The back door, get out.
Get the fuck out of this
Exactly.
bullshit.
I was like,
Dude,
we're
just-
done with you.
We're out of here.
I know at least 2 people will be done with you after that video. They're like, I'm tired of you.
Yeah, my dad and my brother.
It'll be
I've
worth
already.
it.
For those of you that don't know, this belt is a thing that we recently got for
Hang it up so you can see it a little better.
our little Father's Day fishing tournament that we have.
It says Father's Day champion with a big bass in the
Yeah.
middle of it.
Because we go fishing every Father's Day, and whoever catches the biggest fish wins. Lo and behold, last year
It's the biggest, not the.
it's the biggest, not the most. Even though last year I caught the biggest and the most.
Ooh, call
So-
out.
Call out.
Well, just saying, my dad caught 1 fish, my brother caught 2. I caught like 15. That's how it is.
They're all fishing in the wrong spots.
Yeah. But so I'm the current champion, and then I got this for us for like the next one coming up, along with a trophy my mom is making for us. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I've just been going over to my dad's house every day with this, just standing there watching him, talking to him
Just be like,
with the
what
belt on,
happened
and I'm
here?
like, oh, this little thing. This is that's what I call a
This little-
Oh, man, I
championship.
didn't
Little
even
number.
notice of this.
I've been sending pictures to Nick every day. It's gonna continue. It's great.
Until the video.
It's just
and then
escalating.
They keep telling me it's gonna be a real bad day when I lose it, but I'm gonna be honest, dude. I ain't losing this.
Here's my favorite
I
part.
fish better than both of them.
Mikey and I don't have a dog in this fight, so we're gonna make this dope ass video, and then when you lose it after the video comes out, I'm gonna cry. It's gonna be
Like,
hilarious.
no.
It's gonna
It would
the
be very
best.
funny, but I'm not gonna lose. I'm confident I'm gonna win. Just got a new rod and reel, all set up, good to go. I ain't losing. I did, however, really fuck up that reel the other day.
That's not a good start.
I'm not used to the reel that's on there,
Hmm.
so I cast it like I would cast a regular reel that I have, and that's not the way.
It's a big no go.
Big no go. Really, it bird nests all the way down into it.
Ooh.
I had to cut the string out. It was awful. I
think
just
I've
bought
only
the
done
string,
that.
so I had to go get more string and do it again.
I think I only did that once. At least only once that I remember. The last time I remember doing it, which is the only time I think I've done it, was like 2 years ago up in Wisconsin.
Gotcha.
I fucked her up. She was
Dude, sometimes it gets bad.
could not be
Yeah.
salvaged.
Sometimes you're just like, I need a new reel.
I've never had a reel break. Well, I've had reels break on
I've
me.
had my this.
I've never had a reel break due to a string issue as opposed to like a regular.
I've
issue.
had a string issue cause my reel to break
I have not had that.
on
So-
a very cheap reel.
I was using an old rod where all it did was it had that little finger. It just slipped in behind the cork and the handle.
Yeah.
And that's all it
Yeah.
did to keep it in. And one time it just went whoop, and that sucked right off the pole. I was like, oh, there she goes.
And there it is.
And it's in the water.
My first pole was an ugly stick, which is a little closed face ugly stick.
Yeah.
And it was when I was fishing in Kickapoo for cat, and it had to be a giant catfish grabbed it and basically pulled it into the water, but I like grabbed it in time, and when I went to go pull it up, it like let go or snapped or something, and for some reason it back spooled my reel, because I think this is first of all this is
Sounds
my
like the drag was messed up on it.
this is my dad's fishing pole from like the 80s or something that
Wow.
I just had or something old, very old. Like he blew the dust off, got it from his dad's house to give it to me, and like that happened. And I tried to pull the line back out. I pulled it out a little bit, and it was just like, nah, I ain't coming out. And I was like, okay, and I opened it up, and it was just a mess. And there was like some things twisted, and I didn't even know what they were then.
no.
And I was like, okay, I'm done with
Well,
this.
because like I've always just used closed face because it's just easy.
Mhm.
And then I finally decided I was gonna move up to doing bait caster stuff.
A nice bait catcher, not quite open faced.
No, it's open face
Yeah,
sucks.
Exactly. It's not open face, but it's not a
I've
completely
cast open face
closed
a couple
face.
times. This
I think I've maybe held an open face and just been like, I don't even like this.
I tried to
My
use
mom
one.
exclusively fishes open face.
No, I picked one up and I was like, nope, I don't even want to try.
I tried to, and I was like, I don't understand how this works.
Nope. So I moved up to a bait caster, and I have a Shimano bait caster reel right now.
It's really nice.
It is super nice. Also matches the pole.
Very nice.
But I cast it like I would cast in my closed face, and that was the problem. It was out of control. So it caused it to mess up real far down into the spool, so we had to actually like sit there and just cut it out for like a half hour. Cut all the string out of there. 30-pound test string.
Got all aggressive.
Yeah, it's all braided line and everything.
Ugh.
Had to cut all that out, so we had to replace the line that was in there. I did all that yesterday, and I haven't messed with it since. But when we take it out for Father's Day, I've got it down, but I'm not gonna tell them I've got it down until they see that I've got it down.
You're gonna let him keep thinking that he doesn't know how to cast out of this, and it's all
Correct.
fucked up. They're just sitting there thinking, man, I can't wait for him to get on the boat and ruin his line and be stuck on the boat all day trying to fix it.
Are you gonna bring a backup pole just in case?
Well, yeah, because I'm gonna catch bluegill while I'm there to feed Gimli.
Gimli.
So I'll have my other poles with me,
Yeah, you're
but I won't mess it up.
You're gonna open that tank again. You're gonna put your
Yeah,
face.
well, I'm gonna
in-
clean it again. Well, I wasn't expecting him to eat every fish I put in there.
You're gonna go into the pit of
Because
danger.
he has never once before
Were they
have I
alive?
put a bunch. Yeah, they were all alive.
And he caught him?
Yeah.
Animal.
Put
Li-
5 of them
literally.
in there and just
It smells like the
Get 'em
vents
all.
coming out of Mountain Doom.
It's pretty bad.
yeah,
God, it's awful.
yep.
I haven't been
Went to
over
s-
there, but I
went
stepped
to
near
sleep.
it. and I
When
was
you
like,
walked by
nope.
and sniffed it and said, "Oh, that's disgusting," and told me to put my face on, I was like, "No, I'm not stupid." And I walked by it to get a water.
You could
And
smell it.
wafted in my face.
Trust me.
I was
Like
gonna throw up.
There were 5. There were still 4 in there because he ate one yesterday. 4 in there when I went to bed last night. There were none in there when I came upstairs today. Came up here this morning before he came to pick me up to go get his dog.
I
They'll
mean,
be-
before
they'll be
that,
there.
when was the last time that he got to eat live fish?
Oh, like an actual live
Like a
fish? I
live
mean, it's been a long time.
Yeah, so he was
Because
probably
normally he just gets frozen fish.
probably amped up.
He's going back to frozen fish after this issue. Because frozen fish, I mean, like.
Well, you'll see
fish.
them. Those fish will be back.
Frozen fish.
So frozen, when I give him frozen, I can't even talk now.
Nope.
But he's going back to frozen food.
Those fish will be back, just not in the way you want them to be.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what's all floating in the tank right
All that
now.
gross stuff on top of those
Mhm.
piles of ugh.
Do you plan on putting him outside ever again?
If I can find a cheap
Something
enough horse
he can't
trough to
get
put
out of.
inside, yeah.
Yeah, when he learns
You'd
to
have
stop
to get like
climbing
a
the
tall
walls.
walled
Yeah.
cheap horse trough.
So or that or get like a pond like my dad has his turtle in.
Like a super deep.
Yeah. Not like the big pond because then they'd put a hole in the liner because it's a snapping turtle.
Yeah.
But like that plastic pond that he's
Like
got
a
her
yeah,
in.
like a lined, not
Yeah.
like a.
Because he's got her in
Carp.
that. But if I get like a horse trough that's not like damaged like the one I have, then I could put it in there.
Yours is just rusty, right?
Very rusted, and I don't want him in rusty water like that. It's not very good for him, even though he is a snapping turtle.
How
he
much
kinda
are horse troughs?
Goes through it,
A couple $100, $100
something
You
like
clean
that.
the rest. Is it kind of like holes in it, or
Yeah, Well, like if I were to like flip it over, you can see because it's an old one.
I was gonna say if it doesn't have any holes, you clean it out. Just give it a vinegar bath, let it soak for a while.
No, my
dump
dad's
it, scrub
had
it.
that one for
Is that
since
bitch's-
I was born.
Bitch's old one.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. She used to be that one. Then like it started leaking a lot because it was rusting out the bottom. So then like he flipped it over, he flex sealed the bottom, and he was still using it for a while. And then he just moved her to that bigger
Yeah,
pond that
big
she's in. I mean, which is not bad,
Mm-mm.
but
It's a big turtle.
yeah, she's a big turtle. She's
I don't think I've
almost,
seen a bitch yet.
she's almost 30.
You've never even seen her?
I haven't been over there often. I think I've been over there once.
We'll have to take her out for you sometime.
I've been over there about 3 or 4 times. I've only been over there.
Yeah. She's a treat to behold your eyes,
Yeah, I
Bond.
think the only time I went over there, I've seen like through the gate, but the only time I went back there was when we put the compensator on this gun.
She's fun.
Yeah, I think
She's
that's
fun
a
to
good
look at.
baby.
You're like, holy shit.
She is. She's
That's a big
Very
turtle.
surprising.
Yeah.
We
You're
got a
like,
couple
yeah, I've seen some
snappers.
big turtles.
We got a
and then
couple
you see it.
snapping turtles at work. We got a couple turtles at work. We got a bunch of just like red-bellied turtles out there, and then we've got 2 snappers.
Pretty common painted turtles.
Yeah, we got some painted turtles, and we got 2 snappers. We got 8 pond and 5 pond are connected, and they're both fed off of 2 different creeks. But 3 pond is not connected to anything; it's all by itself. Big fat boy in there. He got stuck in one of the pipes that drains the overflow all the time.
Jeez.
Head first, and I saw him. And lucky I saw him. I pulled him out, and I grabbed him on the side of the shelves and pulled him out. He was gasping for air, so I set him on the side of the bank instead of in the water, so he just take a minute for himself. Left him for a couple hours. By the time we came back at the end of the day, he was gone. So I was like, all right, he's fine.
He's
He
back
got
in the water,
Yeah.
But he was definitely drowning in that pipe.
You'd be surprised.
He probably was in there
Turtles
for a
can get
while.
stuck underwater.
He was probably in there for a minute.
Well, it was after a hard rain, so he looked like just exhausted trying to get
Yeah,
out.
like he was
So
trying.
maybe he might not have been drowning, but he was trying to get out of the pipe, but he couldn't because the pipe was sucking water in.
Probably just got slightly swedged
He
in
was
because it was pulling water.
Yeah, he was exhausted because he got stuck in head first.
Yeah, we our old pond, we had a turtle get stuck to the bottom of the filter because he would go down and hang out by the filter all the time, and he happened to flip it,
and it was
so it like sucked him to the bottom of it. And he just sat there until he drowned.
Oh, poor little dude.
But yeah, so
It happens.
we moved him. So he's in 3. He chills out. He keeps the goldfish population in check. There's goldfish and bluegill in there.
What we got?
And then the one on 8, I've only seen him pop his head out once. That boy's big.
Did they put goldfish and bluegill in there? Like,
We put the goldfish in there, yeah. So it always used to have a real bad problem with like creeping vines and stuff and weeds.
Yeah, so you put some fish in there.
So we put a bunch of fish in there, and it's been really clean ever since.
there's
Which
a
is
random where I used to go to the woods at. We just like used to walk around back in there. It's like randomly off the side of a road, and we walk back in there. And we found this big lake, not big lake, like a big pond. It wasn't big enough to be a lake, but it was slightly bigger than just like a normal little pond. And I was walking by it, and there was these like at least foot long giant goldfish just in there in the middle of the woods. Like, there's no way that you can't walk. There's no trails.
Someone probably took their koi. And
There's
let
no,
them
yeah,
go.
they were like koi fish, and I was in there. I was like, "What the fuck? Like, why are there
People
fish
do that
in the middle of the woods?" It was weird.
because koi and goldfish are fine and wherever.
There was also a really old boat
I like them like
on the dock.
Could also just be someone like if someone goes there all the time and does.
That's what I
fishing.
thought, but there's no trail. Like, there was no walking trail. There was certainly no driving trail. Like, we were just walking through the woods.
Gotcha.
And that's why it was
Sounds
weird.
good.
If there was a trail, I'd be like, okay, someone.
could have been
owns
somebody's
this.
property, and then they just stopped going out there,
Mhm.
so it overgrow.
I have been wanting to do some creek walking. See if I can catch some other little turtles and stuff like that. Be a lot of fun. Anyways, we're gonna cut away from that. We're gonna do a quick ad break for you guys, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about a fancy little question we have.
Ooh, the question.
Can you believe we went this long without talking about Sullivan's? W.E. Sullivan's Irish Pub and Fare is a Peoria local pub serving Irish-styled food, with a few of their own creations as well. From their diverse menu to their extensive beer list, and even just the overall atmosphere, Sullivan's makes for a great location for everything, whether it's a lunch date, a night out with your friends, or a nice family dinner. And if that's still not enough to convince you, then every week the chefs come up with a new special that's usually not on the menu for us to try. So the next time you're in the mood to go out for a good meal, head out to W.E. Sullivan's Irish Pub and Fare and show them some love.
Okay, and we're back.
Yeah.
All right.
What's the question for us, Mark?
So the question is,
Mork.
if you could mork, would you?
You can mork. How many morks would mork on the mork?
And if you have to ask what mork is, then you shouldn't be here.
Check the last couple videos.
Yeah, this channel's not for you. And the question is, if you could live in anywhere, any type of setting, well, whether it be the big city or a little small town by the sea, a Mediterranean area, a tropical area, deciduous forest. You could live anywhere, but that's where you have to live the rest of your life. It doesn't matter how long you walk. You could pick one direction and walk that way forever. It will never change. Where would you live?
And you still have your amenities.
Yeah.
You're not just out there fucking roughing it.
You've got your internet and your TV.
Yeah.
You've got
everything
your
that
lights,
Like it all just
plumbing.
magically comes with you.
Yeah, you've got your plumbing.
I would say it's a city. Like there's other
Yeah.
people there. Like you can shop. You can do everything.
Yeah, you're not just
still.
alone.
You're not just like I'm the
Okay.
last person and I'm only in these mountains and it's only me.
But it's kind of like just a little pocket world. Like that's just
Mhm.
that's your entire existence.
Yeah.
Is this surrounding?
Okay.
Like if you pick the forest, you could go for miles and miles and miles and find a new town. It's still just forest.
Yeah, there's a forest town.
It's always
It's
forest.
another forest town.
It's just something you would never get tired of. Somewhere you could live
Mhm.
forever.
All right, I think I got one.
You want to go first?
Yeah, you should.
Me?
Yeah, you came to an answer pretty quick.
I would live in some like mountainous plains. You know what I mean? Like it's not just like strictly mountain. Can't get there unless you're walking. But there's like plains, mountains, plains, mountains. There's no like rolling hills. It's just like either there's mountains or you're on a flat plain.
So like a foresty savanna kind
So
of
like a
thing.
mountain valley.
Like yeah, like
Because that's
like
I've lived in a similar-
Montana is what I think of.
'cause I've lived in a similar situation. I was out in California in the Sierra Mountain Valley Range,
Yeah,
and we were in the mountains.
Mhm.
But not too far away, there's a big valley. This valley's elevated like 6,000 feet, and no matter where you look, it's just like miles
It's
and
like
miles.
flat, like
it's
prairie
totally
land and
flat.
hmm
But on the horizon, in every direction, it's just mountains.
Yeah, mountains everywhere. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can get to areas where it's flat, but you never get the feeling of like we do in Illinois, where you look all around
Just
and it's
corn.
just corn.
More corn.
There's barely hills.
There's trees.
There's trees, maybe. Sometimes just corn. But yeah, somewhere like that. Montana is what I think of, or
Idaho.
Utah, kind of.
Utah seems kind of
Yeah.
boring.
Well, they have
Too
that
many
one.
Mormons.
Jeez.
That's not where I was going with it, but sure.
They have a
Damn polygamists.
Zion Canyon or whatever.
Yeah.
The Green Grand Canyon.
The gangrene.
Yeah.
Green
The
Canyon.
every
You
time
know.
you go there, you get gangrene.
It doesn't
You get
matter.
cut off.
Every time you go, you lose a foot.
That's how I would want to live.
You only
I
go
think
twice.
because mountains, from the few times I've seen mountains in my life, from when we went to Arizona or me and we went to Colorado,
Yeah.
I love looking at them. They're super fun. Just like it might be because we live in Illinois and you look all around you and you see nothing but fucking small hills or just flat land.
Yeah, basically everything is exotic
Yes.
to somebody from the
Yeah,
Midwest.
exactly. If you
Yeah.
go in, like if we see, even if I see like rolling hills, like say the Great Smoky Mountains, they're not like Colorado mountains where they have snow caps and stuff. They're just like large hills. But even there, you're like, wow,
This is way better
this
than
is
nothing.
way better than just flat.
We really do almost have nothing here.
We don't. Well, I will say Arkansas has literally nothing.
You know what I thought was the worst?
Literally,
Yeah.
like Illinois is better than Arkansas. I can say that.
Everybody like hates driving through like Nebraska and stuff because it's just like
I
flat.
don't.
I hate Oklahoma. It's
I
the
don't
same
mind
thing every 20
When
feet.
I was driving
Yeah.
through Nebraska, it was like, you know what? I kind of get it. This place doesn't really have much. But then I hit Wyoming. Wyoming, at least on Highway 80.
Mhm.
I don't know about northern Wyoming, but on 80, it is literally just gray. There is nothing for
That's-
miles.
When we went through
Nothing.
Oklahoma,
Hills,
on our way to
trees,
Arizona,
counts, hills, trees, counts. Hills,
like it
trees,
was
counts.
literally like that was when we were just like, seriously, there's nothing here. And we was like, I thought that'd be different.
Yeah. Apparently, we drove through Cheyenne in Wyoming, the
Mhm.
capital, twice. I don't remember going through a single
Like
city
I
in
have
that
no
state.
idea.
When?
When I went to California.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't remember going through that city. This is the capital of the state. It's got the highest population in the state.
Don't remember going through it.
I don't think I hit a single city on the highway, but
That's
apparently
weird.
they went right through the middle of
But
it.
it's nice seeing like if like when we were in Colorado, we would get out of our hotel, drive a little bit down the street, and
And
look
see a
ahead of
bunch of
you, and you
mountains,
just
yeah.
see like from this field of view to this field of view, just mountains all in the distance, just different sizes. You see the snow caps, see the clouds going over them.
It is
just a
pretty cool.
Awesome thing to see.
Immediately getting out of Wyoming, we hit Salt Lake City, and the drive down to Salt Lake City through Wyoming, beautiful.
hmm
The drive out of Salt Lake City, beautiful. I think maybe 10 minutes out of Salt Lake City, you hit the Bonneville Salt Flats. That is truly just barren.
Yeah.
The Salt Flats are. It's a cool drive.
Yeah, because it's
But oh my God, the wind rip your car over. It'll just flip it.
it's always
It's
sad.
awful.
Like when we left Arizona like Arizona wasn't as bad because we went from Arizona up to Colorado.
Yeah.
So we had sites, but if you go down through like New Mexico and Texas, the way we went to Arizona, if we were to leave that way, it'd be super sad because it would be like beautiful, kind of pretty. And it's like all right, and then just be boring back to Illinois.
Up, back and all the
Yeah, like this is fucking great.
Yeah, I'm glad we took a different way back.
Yeah.
Yeah. The drive up to Minnesota when I lived up there,
It's
it's just cornhole.
yeah, just nothing different.
I slept through it.
About twice.
I mean, that's basically how it is Iowa, Nebraska.
You slept through the first drive and you slept through about half of the way back.
Yep.
But by the time you woke up on the way back, it started getting dark, so there was not much you could see anyway.
Correct.
It's weird. Midwest is so just plain. Like all those states right there.
Yeah, the
Just
drive.
all those are. If you got dropped in one, you'd be like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, the drive-
Indiana, Illinois, it doesn't matter.
drive to my
Yeah.
apartment in Minnesota doesn't have a neat view until you're like 30 minutes away, and then you're driving through all the quarries and the hills that were
And you're
carved
like,
out
oh,
in
this is
stone.
nice.
And you're like, oh, now it's pretty.
That's kind of like Kentucky. When
Everything
I went down
before
there.
that is just dumb.
So you live in like a mountainous
Yeah.
area? Mountainous kind of valley
Mountainous, yeah, valley
area.
range.
It'd be
something
pretty
like
fun.
that.
It'd be pretty fun.
Be neat.
What about you, Wayne?
I think I would like to go with like a swampy marshland kind of feel.
Down in Louisiana.
Louisiana with the water puppies.
Kind of, I mean,
You want to live down the bayou.
I mean, it's not necessarily super swampy,
Down the
but like
gauge.
the aesthetics of like a swamp are like really cool to me. Plus, I can go fishing like every day and everything.
Sure.
I could do almost anything down
It does
there.
look
Sounds like
different
fun.
no matter where. Like when I
House-
was in
It
Alabama.
always changes no matter what.
House
Yeah,
we
when I was
built
in
up on
Alabama, it was
stilts,
different.
Whenever it floods, just fish off your back door.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, that'd be totally fun to me. If I could like move to Florida
And your car was a
and
boat.
nothing changed for me,
You had
where
one of
I, like,
those fan boats.
maybe not necessarily Florida. Probably
I
more like
wouldn't.
Louisiana.
Dude, I would take an airboat all day.
I would own an airboat if I lived down
Oh
there
my
for
God.
sure. But I don't know. I just feel like swampy marshland would be
Can
a
you
lot of
just
fun.
move down south so we have an excuse to go ride on
Yeah.
the boat?
Please.
We'll come visit all the time.
You guys buy me a house down there, sure.
No, you buy.
Well, then
if
I
you're the
would
one who wants
move
to live
there.
there.
I would
mean, I
move
would.
somewhere else.
Paying for somebody else's house. What do you
It's
think
just
I am?
like to me. I mean, that's
Money
like one of the
bags.
most like. I had a lot of fun when I went down there to visit my grandparents.
How many times have you been to Florida?
2 or 3 times.
I've only been to. Yeah, I went to Floribama.
Oh, I've been
once.
there.
Yeah, just a little
That place is
Floribama.
cool.
You go right to the little
Should
Floribama.
go to the bar, literally on the border.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
they
cool.
have like in Alabama it's the actual restaurant, and then they have the little bar that juts out.
Yeah,
And it's
apparently,
like, this is the.
apparently that place has been torn down by like hurricanes and like floods and
Mhm.
stuff, just over and over. And every time they just build on top of all the shitty stuff, and then just keep building on top of it.
Wow.
They just keep
Gotcha.
putting it back on top, and they know about people from Peoria and like Pekin, like the central Illinois, because a lot of us go there. It's just like a
Because
vacation spot.
It's inexpensive.
But I mean, that's what I would want to do. I'd want to live in like that kind of area because it'd be a lot of fun to me. I'd like a swampy aesthetic. It looks really cool.
Just be like a couple, like an hour from Mobile or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Mobile's got a really neat naval museum.
The only thing I don't like about it down there is like the hurricanes that come through. That's the only part of that makes me not want that.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
if
but
I
you
didn't
have-
if it was like an ideal situation like we're talking about, to where I wouldn't have to worry about like hurricane
Do you
stuff.
think are there
absolutely, I'd live down there.
more tornado scares than hurricane scares living in Tornado Alley?
No,
I don't think so.
I
I
think
think
tornadoes happen more often.
I don't
there,
think. Yeah, that's.
but I don't think they do nearly as much.
Yeah.
a
damage.
tornado can't cause as much damage as a hurricane can.
I think a hurricane is just like if you think a hurricane's coming, there's a large chance
'Cause you
that
gotta
it's
think,
gonna fucking come.
A tornado is just like the way the wind is.
Yeah.
And it hits a certain area.
Can't lie to me. I've watched Twister.
A hurricane. A hurricane is like a straight up storm cell moving
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
Yeah,
No
a
doubt
hurricane-
hurricanes are worse because they cause. Not only do they destroy
billions of
buildings,
dollars of damage
with their
and they
twirling winds,
yeah.
they flood places. And
Mhm.
they-
One
a plethora of
hurricane
other
hits 6
issues.
states. One tornado hits 4 towns in
a
a
couple
state.
counties maybe if it's
Yeah.
a good one, like it keeps going. But like we'll
A
get
good one. There's a good
we'll
tornado.
get we'll
the
get
one
a
that rebuilds
tornado.
your houses for you.
Yeah.
We'll get a
Black was
tornado
pretty
warning
bad.
He
here.
comes through and fixes everything.
We'll get
Yeah,
a
just puts the
tornado
roof
warning
back on
here,
your
and we'll
barn.
just be like,
Well, that's the thing. Like,
we'll-
living in the Midwest, you get a tornado warning. Everybody
Yeah.
just goes outside to see where it's at.
we'll like look and we'll be like, it looks alright. Like
the
when
last tornado that came through town and took all those houses down out over by the cemetery.
Mhm.
I slept through it.
Same.
that was the one that also hit Washington, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it was in the same cell.
Yeah,
It was
same.
the
Yeah,
storm
it
that
just hit
Washington.
another one hit Washington. I was working at Taco Bell, and everyone went into the freezer, but we didn't have enough room because we had to get the customers in the freezer as well. So me and Johnny just didn't go in the freezer, and we were just like, meh.
Guess we're dying.
And I was just watching it out the bubble, the drive-through window. Just like
Just
looking at it.
just slept in my room.
Yeah, I was
That's
on
what I
the second
did.
floor. I just ran through it, and I woke up. And I was like, man, kind of looks ominous outside. And I put on my shoes and walked outside, and there was a tree toppled over in the middle of Sheridan. I was like, whoa! And I looked down, and his house is gone. I was like, whoa!
You're like, wow, what's up with that?
What happened?
But yeah, like if anyone, I don't know, I've never had anyone come here and, well, actually, Rachel was kind of worried about the tornado, but
She's
just
from more north though.
yeah, but
Tornadoes don't happen as much. Up
it
north.
doesn't. No, we're more in the actual tornado alley. But it's like I was wanting to change the oil of my car because I needed to change the oil of my car.
Oh wow! Wouldn't you know?
And she was like, "We need to get into the basement. I'm
You
bringing
just
Laura
continue to
down there."
change your oil.
And I was just like, "Well, my car's like been at 0 for a good week now, and I need to change the oil, and I was gonna do it tonight." And she was like, "But the warning, and they're saying they spotted a tornado over East Peoria and Bartonville," and I was like, "Yeah, but this house has been here since the '50s, so I was like, the chance it's gonna leave now is pretty
The
low."
majority of the time, like people around here,
If
they
the
always
60s
just
couldn't
know.
break this
Yeah.
house, I don't think some F4 is
a
gonna
little
do it.
wind is gonna pull the house
Yeah, it's a
down.
little wind boy.
That's just how it is, man.
A little spinny
People
man.
in the Midwest.
When
they
I
don't
was
fear
younger, I was
tornadoes.
scared of tornadoes.
Yeah, I don't think the Tasmanian devil's gonna come through our house. I think we're fine.
My sister Angie did that though. She made me scared of
Did
tornadoes.
she chase you around the house with a vacuum?
No, she's scared of everything. She told Justice that everyone that's in a car that isn't her is a serial killer,
Oh,
and every soda can that's on the ground is a bomb.
that's
Maybe
like
if you're in like the
institutional.
She's hyper protective, like
It's institutionalized levels of
yeah,
paranoia.
she's crazy. She used to be, and probably still
it's a
is,
little insane.
crazy paranoid. But yeah, she made like if there was a slight tornado warning, she was the person that was like, "We gotta get in the basement. We gotta run. We gotta go. We gotta do everything."
We gotta weld the door shut.
Weld
When
the
I
doors,
was younger,
dig a
we'd get a
hole.
tornado warning. Both my parents would just go stand outside,
Yeah.
and I'd literally just be like, "What's going on?" And they're like, "Well, nothing." No, I'd be like, "Okay."
Just a storm. And you're like,
Back to
okay.
It's just how it is.
Video
We would
games.
just go back to playing video games or doing whatever we were doing at the time.
Yeah, Rachel didn't even know what a tornado siren was.
Really?
Or a fire. Yeah, no, she didn't.
Do
Well,
they
she
not
lives-
test them every month.
She lived out in the way out in the country,
Oh,
away from
where
yeah.
they got it
Like,
over the radio.
when they
She
built.
lived-
she was
she
the
lived- she
first
lived
house
out
of
in
their
Rich
subdivision.
Personville.
In their subdivision, she was the first house there.
Yeah, rich
Than everyone
Personville.
else. Basically, yes.
Rich people are immune to
Yeah, well-
tornadoes. We know this. They only hit trailer
Yeah.
Very
parks.
nice house. But she
Fact.
was like,
Too
"What's
bad we have
that?"
one in the middle of town here.
Hasn't been hit once though.
I know it's protecting itself. It's masquerading as regular houses. It's just down there, and you'll see it.
I've seen it.
Go see it.
It's
like,
drove past
masquerading
it
as real
multiple
houses.
times.
like it's a, like it's some kind of
Yeah. I
I
attraction.
feel like that was already out there.
I had an
and
uncle
Pekin
that used to live
expanded.
in one of those because he's a piece of crap.
This piece of garbage.
Yeah, I feel like that was already out there, and the town expanded, so we just built around them.
Bartonville has a tiny trailer park.
Does it?
All of
I don't
South
think I've ever
Pekin.
seen it.
It's near my parents' house.
South Peak is not true.
All of
You
South
can
Pekin.
consider them.
Do you
as
know how many
trailers.
times South Pekin has been hit by tornadoes that shouldn't have landed near anyone? And it's been like, nope, fuck them.
And we're like, thank you.
There's one house I'm pretty sure that has been rebuilt 3 times because every tornado that's hit South Pekin has hit that
No
house.
one has money to rebuild things down there.
Yeah, they do. Why do you think they always get rebuilt and then hit again?
You're right.
I mean,
I'd say
South
the-
Pekin takes the brunt of our tornadoes.
The
I'd
worst
say.
tornado
They
we've
get
had
hit a
here
lot.
is the Washington one.
Yes.
In a long time.
That thing was
I
bad.
don't think we've had one like
No,
that in
not
a very
like
long
that.
time.
That destroyed.
Washington, I don't think's ever had one like that.
Nope.
I think that's the worst one.
And
that's
it's
ever
even
hit.
worse that it
Yeah.
hit their like new. Like Washington has like the town of Washington, which is like older houses from like the 50s, 60s, 70s. Then it has like the huge subdivision area of Washington, and that's where the tornado hit. Was all those super expensive houses.
Yeah,
Just absolutely ravaged them.
Mm-hmm.
smooshed them all to the ground.
My dad did the cleanup on that, and he said it was super scary because it was like middle of the night.
Is there a body in this? Who
And
knows?
there was just fire alarms. Everyone's fire alarms, and every single house was all going off at the same time. So it was just like fire alarms, car alarms for cars that were still buried in garages. And he was like, it was the most ominous shit he's ever done.
Well, cleaning up after like disasters and stuff is just a terrifying thing in itself.
Well, yeah, because you never know if you're gonna find somebody that nobody got.
Yes,
That
correct.
Didn't get found.
it didn't get found. Yeah,
That's just how it
pets probably
turns
for sure.
out, and it's kind of
So many
freaky.
pets, it's gonna be so sad.
Yeah, that would not be fun.
I mean, that
Nope.
tornado was like so devastating to the community that even other people were just like, "We gotta go help." Like the entire Chicago Bears lineup was like, "We gotta go help that."
Yeah, this took a dark turn. Back to the real
So
topic
you would
at
want to
hand
live
here.
in the swamp.
I would
Anyways,
want to live in like
where
a
there's no
swampy,
tornadoes.
marshy area.
Just hurricanes.
No, I'm saying like if I could do like if I could commit to living like in a southern area that has like the marshy swamps,
Ain't no tornadoes.
and I
in the
didn't have to
mountains.
worry about a hurricane, fuck a tornado,
All the malaria.
it'd be fine. Yeah, I mean,
And a water
there's
puppies.
preventatives for that kind of stuff.
You like the water
It's
puppies.
called Raid. Just cover yourself. You drink a bottle every day.
I mean, I'm perfectly fine with alligators.
Bogans.
I'm not worried about alligators, turtles, anything like that.
I'm less scared of alligators. I'm mostly scared of. We'll talk about this later.
My issue with that.
Oh, you're mostly afraid of?
Yeah.
My issue with that would be the spiders. I just don't like spiders. Maybe too many.
The biggest spider I've seen was in Arizona.
Was it tarantula?
Dude, it was huge.
No, the wolf spider.
No. Dude.
That thing was big.
We
It
were
was
swimming next to
at
it.
least at like the smallest. It was that big.
You know what always gets me, especially the one thing I remember, like it's super vivid in my mind. I was hanging out with Dre when we were in his basement. There's a wolf spider, so he's like, "Oh, we gotta kill it." So he went to grab the broom, and he's like, "No, I got a better idea." So he grabbed a can of Axe and a lighter.
God,
We're gonna
Jesus.
burn this
Just
boy.
burned it.
So he lit it on fire. He burned it. The spider died, and then its back just expanded, and all the little babies
Baby
just
spiders.
spread out. And I was like, "I'll see you later." He's like, "I don't have to
Goodbye.
live nearby." And he goes,
Nice.
No, you gotta help me. I was like, "Nope, I'm out of here."
You're like,
Alright.
matter of fact, I don't have to help
So,
you.
anyways, we got Mountainy Valley, Swampy
Swampy boy.
Marsh. What do you got?
So mine is a tie, but I'm gonna pick just one of them.
Yep.
The runner-up was something like Crater Lake in Portland, Oregon, or not in Portland, Oregon. In Oregon, Crater Lake is absolutely beautiful place. It's surrounded by mountainous zones and a bunch of forests.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks awesome. There's a big lake in the middle. It's a big crater that has
Crater
a lake
Lake.
in it.
Wow.
But I think what I would want to do is live in like the redwood forests.
Yeah.
That style.
Cool.
Just an
That'd be
amazing
pretty
like
cool.
cypress forest that just has unbelievably ancient, huge trees.
Gigantic 100-year-old.
Played
trees.
enough art to freak me out with those
Bill-
giant cats.
Well, I just
Terror birds.
that's the best part. Those don't
Terror
exist.
birds.
Terror birds
As
everywhere.
far as you know.
Well, I mean, there's pumas, but
Pumas to fuck you up. Mountain lions.
just climb up one of those and just build a house off of one
That'd
of
be
their
cool.
tree-sized branches. These trees are so big that their branches are trees.
Their branches
People
are
know what
normal
those
oak
are.
trees that we
Their
have.
branches are the size of normal trees. They're 4 feet around.
I'm pretty sure people know what a redwood tree is.
It's
if
amazing.
you don't,
Yeah, if you
Isn't
don't,
it a sequoia?
this is your own
Is that
fault.
what
Sequoias.
the actual
Yeah.
name of it?
they're
Sequoia.
amazing. I would
They
totally,
have tunnels that go through them. If no
I
one
would
has known.
totally just build like a network of bridges.
Would
through
you
the
want to deal
sequoias.
with that in the wintertime, though?
You know what? I don't think it bothered me in the winter.
That's a lot of snow, dude.
Yeah, but if I just build them all slightly arched, all the snow runs off.
Is it Northern California? Is that where the
Northern
sequoias are?
California,
Is it like
Canada.
in the middle towards the
They're majority
east
in like
more-ish?
Canada.
It's
What?
no.
There's a couple states.
There's a lot up there towards Canada.
Yeah, but there's a couple states in between those things.
Yeah.
I think we're talking about strictly the California.
Yeah,
redwoods.
it's above.
So you don't want to go that far north,
Not that
where
far
the
north.
bigger ones are.
Well, I'd go that far north. That wouldn't bother me actually. But like,
I wouldn't do that because that's when the snow is.
Yeah, what I was
Well,
talking
yeah,
about is like
real bad.
there's just above Sacramento, which is still like 4.
Okay.
It's still like 3 or 4 hours from.
So
the
snow
border
wouldn't
of
really be
Oregon.
like a super big issue.
It would
Wouldn't-
snow, but
wouldn't be
not
an awful issue.
not like
no, it'd be
feet
manageable.
of snow.
I wouldn't want something that would collapse my structure every winter.
Yeah, that'd be annoying.
Fair.
Because eventually, if you live at the top, you're gonna have to find a way to just live with it when you're old. Because once you get older, you're not coming down that rope or that ladder. That's where you are forever. You're now at the top of that tree forever. Once you get old,
Make an elevator system.
It's true. I
You
mean,
got a lot of time on your hands.
I'd have to rediscover how pulleys and counterweights work and just make a bucket of rocks.
Nah,
that
you can buy
brings
it.
me up and down.
You can buy it.
I wouldn't build it. I'd buy it.
I'd buy.
I'd have somebody build it for me.
He's
Put
like,
it in
hello, please make an elevator.
But I think that would be amazing to live in those trees.
That would be really cool.
That would be sweet.
That would.
That'd be a dope life.
It's one of the places I want to go see. It's the Redwoods.
It'd be like the Ewok
It's like
Village.
a road trip.
I
Possible.
want to go to Glacier National Park.
Also
First.
sounds like a road trip.
That's my next.
I'd go there
that's my
first
next
because it's melting away. We're not gonna have that for much longer.
Good point.
Yeah.
Probably be a good idea. Get that off the bucket list. Just
There's
check
so
it
many
off.
places that I'm just down to go to.
Mhm.
You name it.
So you would be like, so you'd like to be like the redwood trees and stuff like that.
So
You'd
redwoods-
be-
But I'm not
Swamp
about to Tarzan it out. Like I'm not gonna find a vine and swing.
Oh,
If I can't like build a bridge to the next branch, I'm not gonna go with that
all
tree.
you.
Sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I am. As a
That's
matter of
fair.
fact, I'm running away from my problems in the sky.
in the tree sky.
Because at that point,
The
it's
tree
practical.
sky.
Yes.
The tree gods, all they have.
Yes.
All glory to the world tree.
He's just trying to find his world tree. That's all.
That's what
I'm
I'm
just
trying to
praying
do.
hardcore over you guys don't even know.
All right, so that's our choices. Tell us what you want, like what you'd like to live in.
What do you want?
Explain it to us in vivid detail.
I noticed that none of us said city. We're just like, nah, screw that. Fuck that noise.
The city's overrated, man. Anyways, gonna go ahead and head to another quick little ad break. Let you guys enjoy that.
Well, instead of whatever it is we were talking about, let's talk about Cabbages and Kings. Previously known as Titan Games, Cabbages and Kings is a tabletop game store in Peoria Heights. Whatever you're interested in, whether it's figures, board games, or trading card games, Cabbages and Kings has you covered. Not sure what you like? Then give them a call or message them on Facebook and ask for a suggestion. Dan will always be able to help you out. And let's not forget about their new Rent a Game program they have. For $5, you can rent a game for up to 3 days. So make sure to ask for more details about that the next time you're in there. Last but not least, if you have a busy schedule and you can't always get there, you can always order online and pick it up at your earliest convenience at cabbagesandkings.games. Remember guys, that's cabbagesandkings.games. Cabbages and Kings, the best source of board games around.
Homophobic.
All right, we're back. Topic of the day: aliens.
Question.
With a question mark.
Aliens? Didn't have a lot of inflection on that. Aliens?
I mean, that's just how it is. Aliens. How do you feel about aliens, Mark?
I'd bro up an alien.
Me and alien.
Be friends with an alien. I'd hang. I'd chill.
That's not what I was expecting.
I'd lax.
I was thinking, like, do you?
What do you think? I'm gonna genocide aliens?
How do you
Whoa.
feel about like?
Or something?
How do you actually feel about aliens? Like, do you think they're real?
Oh, death.
When will they be here?
That I have no answer to. But
You must give one.
I think statistically it is
Fuck, marry, kill aliens.
all.
Oh.
Like the Mars attacks aliens?
We'll have a passionate
Like,
night.
Fuck those guys.
Like alien aliens.
Fuck those guys.
We'll have an extremely passionate interspecies night, apparently.
Wow.
Intergalactical species night.
All right, this is getting too fucking weird. All right, aliens, Mark.
Okay,
Explain.
anyways, actual answers.
I think statistically it is impossible for there not to be life out
Yep.
there other than us.
Whether it be aliens that we think of as like aliens or like just
Or just
any-
like, you know,
could it be
a purple tree.
are you considering like microscopic organisms
Well, yeah, that's
that
how
will
everything
possibly
started.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, that
I
will
mean,
possibly
if
become
it is a
life.
living organism, if it is a byproduct of its environment and it has a purpose, it exists, it survives, it dies, it reproduces, whether it's asexual or not, it is a living being.
Mhm.
And it is impossible for them not to be out there. Now, how advanced they are, you know, where we fall in the spectrum, maybe we're, you know, dum-dums and they flew by and they're like, ooh, nope, not yet.
Even if they'll ever become advanced.
Or maybe, you know, we just got a head start and we're before everybody else, so that's why we're not getting any responses because everything else is an amoeba right now.
Mhm.
Like, you know, I think life is out there. We just, very unlikely that we're going to find it anytime soon. Like, I feel with the amount of technology we have available to us now, if we're going to find other life, it's because it comes to us. I don't think we're advanced enough to
I have
find
a
them yet.
question. What if we do you think there's a possibility that we could find life that once existed? Like a civilization that was wiped out.
Like on another planet,
Yeah.
or like as we do already with like Egypt and stuff.
No, like a completely like we go out in space, we go to a different,
Like a planet kind
Star
of like Mars,
system
like
of
it
some
doesn't
sort.
spin, there's no atmosphere.
and it was just like there
And
was
it used to
life
be-
here.
There
Yeah,
used to be
like
something here, but now it's just buildings because
Like-
it's an uninhabitable
like I'm
planet.
saying like our level of technology. Like they had cities, they had transportation and everything, whether it be different or not. That was just gone now, and we don't really know what happened to them.
I think it's a possibility. Like, because we gotta imagine the way we travel now, the propulsions we use, the speeds we gain, everything we do is, reaction based. It's all chemical. It's all Newton's, laws and stuff.
What we
move with
understand.
physics.
Yeah, what we understand.
So the fastest we could possibly go is sub-light speed. So by the time we get to another civilization, thousands, hundreds of thousands of years could have passed, and it's just like, oh, they're gone now.
Okay.
Because we currently don't have a way to travel at or above the speed of light.
Say like next 5 years we did make a slip space drive.
Like we discover faster than light travel.
Yeah.
Well, so like the
we're
theory
able
they're working on.
say slip space becomes a thing in the next 5 years.
Well, they're working on something.
How do you think it'll go? I don't want hypotheticals of
No, I'm just
they're
saying it's
working
very
on
similar
it.
to what you're saying. Like it compresses the space in front of them and expands the stuff behind them. So it's technically faster than the speed of light.
Yeah.
But for you, it doesn't change. So you're basically slipping through. You're just kind of moving space around you.
Still on the point.
Yeah.
If we make it in the next 5 years, what do you think we'll find?
It just depends on how far we're going and where
It depends on where.
I think the first thing we have to look for is a star with a terrestrial body in a habitable zone.
Mm-hmm. Like Earth.
Yeah.
Earth similar.
Because once we find that, which we will find, I'm pretty sure we found
they
plenty of things that we believe to be habitable zones.
We just can't get there.
We just can't get there because
to actually confirm it.
Like I think the closest one's
and
18 light years away.
we're seeing is 18 light years.
But on the bright
away.
side, since it's only 18 light years, that means there's only an 18-year difference between what we can see and what is there. So if we have a slip drive, we could get there, and the information we have might be a little behind, but as far as geologists are concerned, it's basically to yesterday.
Yeah.
It's not behind at all, because for them, the other day was 1 million years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that would be amazing if we could find them.
How do you? I think the biggest issue with that, if they did figure it out, is how it would react our mushy human bodies.
Well, if there's intelligent life, I think our
You
first struggle.
Pinky and you get ripped in half.
I feel like that'd be the hardest thing
Our
to figure
first
out.
struggle with intelligent life that's even close to anything we are technology-wise is not immediately going to war.
Killing it because our
as
leaders,
us as humans, they're scared. We're scared of everything.
And the communication. Well, we're scared of stuff we don't, understand.
We're scared of stuff that can be smarter than we are.
But you got to think about it from an alien's perspective. Imagine a bunch of gray boys. They don't have war anymore because intellectually they've elevated above
So
war.
we're going to call aliens gray boys.
Gray boys. Imagine they fly by our planet back before when we're hunter-gatherers, when we're barbarians. And they watch this little meaty two-legged dude run its food to death. We literally hunted it down out of stamina. We just ran longer than it could until it got exhausted and fell over and walked up, slit its throat. We're brutal. What if what if oxygen is poison to aliens? They fly by and they're like, oh man, this entire planet's poison. And they see us and like, holy shit, those guys breathe poison. Oh my god. We could be terrifying to them. We could be absolute monsters.
They're like, I hope never.
We kill ourselves over resources. They could just be like, holy shit, these people are barbarians.
Okay, we are.
But then again, I'd feel like they wouldn't because they probably went through the same thing in their history. They're probably like, wow, these guys, if they're that far, they're smart enough to be like, these guys are still there. They'll be there. They'll be where we are
help them
later.
out. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah, it'll be like a little game to them. They're like bets.
Yeah.
What do you think the humans will do
Will they
this week?
figure it out and stop fighting over stupid stuff or no?
Absolutely not.
And then whoever says no is going to be rich.
Assuming they are competitive and gamble.
This is true.
But yeah, we have the potential to look like the absolute alpha predator species to some alien race. Just be like, oh my god, they literally walk food to death. They breathe poison. I was like, they don't even wear a suit on their own planet. They have skin. Look at that. What is that? They
wild.
heal. Like, what if they don't even heal? What if they lose? They get cut. And it's like that's it. That's there forever. They're gonna die. And they're just like, they got scars. What are those? What's that thing?
Wow.
It's like that guy just cut. He's dead. He got cut. He's gonna die. And then a month later, where'd that cut go? Oh my god!
Also, with that, the possibility of the opposite, where they're still running to get their food to death.
Here's my favorite part. Like if they fly by.
Well, they saw us today. We're not running anything.
No. My favorite part. Like if they fly by and they see us chasing down a mammoth. And like, look at that giant mammoth. There's no way that thing loses. And then we kill it. And they're like, what the just happened? And then they fly by today. They're like, what happened? They have vehicles. They're getting close. I don't like this.
Like they took a detour. They're like, yo, you want to go check out the humans? They're like, yeah, let's do
Let's
it.
go fly around Jupiter for a bit. All right, let's go back to that planet with those weird dudes that run other animals to death. Like, whoa, they've got
like,
guns.
hold on a second. They're nuking each other.
Like, what happened here? Like, wow, they got really advanced really fast.
Fair. So like you're saying like the last time they probably would have saw us was back like before the Ice Age and everything,
Yeah, because there's tons of like.
or during the Ice Age.
I'm not saying ancient aliens. You know, that show's ridiculous. It takes huge exaggerations. But there's depictions in ancient society of things that they just couldn't explain.
Mm-hmm.
It's like so.
Like Egypt, like
Yeah.
the flying saucers and all that.
You know, they've got pictures of stuff like you know,
Big
just
headed, great dudes.
weird looking people. It's like, well, unless that guy was born with a deformity and just was like, I'm gonna pretend I'm God.
Which that's
they
weird
could've done.
because a lot of the rulers like had weird deformities and were inbred heavily, so you feel like they would have been drawn like that too, but they weren't.
They were drawing people.
They're like normal people, but then they like take up their bones and stuff, and they're
I
like,
think
actually, they had a terrible
The weirdest
club
stuff
foot.
that like confuses me is like the pyramids getting built is a monumental task, and we don't quite understand how they did it. But there's a couple theories on like, yeah, this could be humanly done. It would have been hard, but they could have done it. But, like,
The easiest way would be to try to replicate
yeah,
it.
but like Stonehenge, well, there's a guy who's been doing that, and that's why they think it was humanly possible because he's been like figuring out how to lift up 10-ton blocks of limestone.
With just simple
By
pulleys
himself.
and pulleys and weird
He's just been doing it with wood.
mechanics.
But stuff like Stonehenge or like the Easter Islands, those stones on Easter Islands,
I think that one's the craziest. To
they
me.
know that it didn't come from that island. It came from Chile. It came from the mainland of South
Mhm.
America. And they didn't even know there were bodies under there, under the ground,
Yeah, they just thought
that made the
heads.
statues 3 times bigger until like this century, you know, until the 2000s. They had no
Yeah.
idea there were bodies down there. Or Stonehenge. Like, we can figure out how they got the big stones in there and flipped them up. But how did they get the stones on top?
Yeah, lay it down.
How did they
there.
pulley those stones up and put them on top? We just didn't have the technology or the manpower. We just didn't
Sure.
have it.
Maybe ancient time. Maybe the Earth is older than we thought it was.
Could be.
Possible.
And
I mean,
civilization's
the
been around
majority of
longer.
our guesses of how old the Earth is and everything like that is a guess or an educated.
We're pretty confident in
Yeah.
our guesstimation of the age of the universe. It's
Gotcha.
like,
But what you're saying is aliens.
yeah, aliens are for real. I definitely believe aliens.
There's no way. There's 100% no way.
I think it's very unlikely that
there cannot be. I think I would bet money on if there was like aliens question mark yes no money, I'd be like yes money.
I think one of the main reasons I think it's almost impossible for there not to be aliens is because the guesstimations of the age of the universe range from 13 billion to like 11.9 billion years. There's a star out there that they found. They're not quite sure what the age is, but every estimation has put it older than the universe by at least 200 million years.
Yeah.
And they're just like, we don't fucking understand. If you
I don't know
can't
how,
figure
but
out
who
the age
cares?
of one star, don't tell me aliens aren't real.
Yeah. Also, if you
Fair.
just look at us and our society and stuff, you're like, there's
It's a joke.
statistically, well,
We live in a
yes,
society.
we live in a society, but statistically, there's no way that there's not another living thing out there. If we can't be the only one,
And we definitely probably aren't
Fair.
the smartest one.
100%. I'd
be
put
willing
money
to
on that
bet
too.
That we're not.
No, I don't think we're obviously the dumbest because there's got to be someone behind
I feel like
us.
if we were the
The
dumbest,
dogs.
I feel like if we were the
Stupid.
what if dogs are the alien species that have been here? Then?
Oh man, I messed up.
I must go kill.
Well, you
Brought an alien
excellent
into my
ODI
house.
Did you just call my dog Otis?
I called him Axie.
Axie and Otis.
His name is fucking Odysseus.
Odie.
I think we're all pretty
Odie.
pro alien.
Pro alien. Yeah, aliens, if you hear us,
Aliens, I fucks with it.
come get your boys. Wheels up.
Them Arby's boys.
Wheels up.
I'd say I'd believe aliens are real.
Yeah.
They're definitely out there. It's just a matter like
But now,
when
do
we
you
find
think-
them or if they find us.
Do you think any alien sightings are real? Like, the shittily VHS.
So, you cannot say that they're aliens. But the Pentagon has released 2 videos and official statements saying that unidentified flying objects do exist. That doesn't mean they're UFOs, but that does mean there have been
Like,
things
yeah, they
in
could.
the sky that they're just like, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Can't figure it out.
Yeah, like it could have been some crazy technology that some other country's working on, but even then, they're just like, "Fuck if I know."
Yeah, because they officially released them during all this coronavirus hubbub. They're just
kind of cover stuff up.
They're
Well, I don't
like-
think they're trying to cover it up. I think that's just that's probably
Our
just when
government
the-
covers everything up. What are you talking
That's
about?
probably just when
Just
whatever
sweep
act
another
was
thing under
covering
the
it up,
rug.
whatever non-disclosure was on it had finally worn off,
And they're just like, "Here you
and
go."
so they were allowed to put it out there. But you can listen to them. There's audio of the pilots saying like,
Yeah, what
"Bro,
the fuck is
what
that
in
thing?
the fuck is that?"
That's the one that's like Tic Tac shaped, ain't it?
yeah, and it just
Yeah.
kind of just boop gone.
Yeah, and he was like, "I have no idea what that was."
And they're just laughing about it because they're in total disbelief.
They're
that
like,
this is
"No,
on their
there's no
radars."
way.
Like they're literally watching it. With
I'm
a
pretty
thermal
sure
camera.
they thought it was because they were just doing flight tests, and they thought it was the like control fucking with them. Like they thought there wasn't supposed to be anyone out there, but maybe they just did some shit out there. And
Right,
they were
it seemed
fucking
like there
around.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
but then
they were
Control's like, no, seriously, like that's not us.
yeah, it's not supposed to be any aircraft in that area right now.
And they're just like, we don't know what that is. Or there's the one over the ocean that just like comes in on the thermal camera and then disappears.
Yeah.
And then comes in on the thermal camera and then disappears.
And it's moving at like stupid speed that shouldn't be possible for something that shape.
So, what do you think about like Predator? Do you think Predator could be real?
Like that's that form of
Like that form of extraterrestrial? Yeah.
person,
hunting us
thing,
now.
whatever.
Or just sport for him.
I'm not good enough sports game for that.
No, but the entirety
died
of the
too
human
good.
race is, can you imagine him going home bragging about his kill count of 7 billion? That's what coronavirus is.
First thing he did was I was gonna say
Predator.
first thing he did
Predator.
he dropped a little virus to wipe some of us out.
He's like, they don't even know, man. I'm about to level this thing up. They
I'm
got
about
this
to
app.
fuck 'em up.
I've been playing this game the humans made. They're so they're unprepared.
Fucked.
I threw to Madagascar first, and they don't
It,
even know
it depends
about it.
because like if you played Plague Inc. and you have I don't know if I'm the only one, but I did it with I named it COVID-19.
I'm sure most people who have played did that.
90% of people that play that game.
I infected the entire world, but no one died. Everybody was just dying of natural disasters. I couldn't get it to actually kill anybody.
Well, according to American hospitals, that's the same thing now.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You died in a car wreck? COVID.
Yeah.
That's how they get their funding. Players got to play the game.
Hey. Don't hate the play,
Someone's
hate
gotta
the
do it.
game.
Without that, I mean, what else would we be able to do? Absolutely nothing.
We'd be able to hope that the aliens are merciful.
Absolutely nothing. No, the aliens
Here's the
were-
thing, though. Like, aliens show up. Let's say they contact us. They come to us. Let's say we just stay
How?
stupid dumb boys. Fly in.
They're just like, yo, what up?
They just come zipping in.
Yeah.
But when they come zipping in, what they say is take care of your weird beard. And with that, I'm going to send us to another ad break.
Wow.
This episode is brought to you by the Beard Struggle. It's always time to grow out your face forest, so why not start today? And while you're at it, you'll need some solid products for the upkeep of your beard. The Beard Struggle has everything from trimmers to straighteners and day-to-day care tools. So visit thebeardstruggle.com and use promo code TIMESUP15 at checkout for 15% off. Come on, guys. Don't let your beard be weird. Get the products you need. And if you're not sure what you need, they have a quiz just for you to get products tailored to those needs. Again, visit thebeardstruggle.com and use code TIMESUP15 at checkout. That's TIMESUP15. May Odin be with you.
And we're back. All right, so Mark, you're staying.
So, like, if aliens come here, two things. A, would you, rather than just be like, yo, bro,
Yeah.
just be the high dude at the beach who lives in the van, be super chill?
Yo, humans.
Or do you
Young
think they would
human
show
guys.
up? Do you think they'd show up and be like,
Fuck this
who,
planet.
what, fuck? No, start over.
And it's just,
Like, you guys made a mistake.
they'd have like a
I feel like
Railgun
originally
bullet.
they'd come in and they'd try to be peaceful, but then us being humans the way we are would turn it into some type of active aggression, or like the powers above us will turn it into some type of active aggression. And then eventually they're gonna be, all right, fuck you guys can restart now, and then blow us up.
I think if they have the technology to get here, they would have the smarts to not mess with our, like, us evolving, because obviously we're not fully evolved into, we haven't discovered all the technology and stuff, and they'd be like,
We're not far enough in Civ.
we're not, we're like,
We're not in the technological area.
we can't
Yeah.
nuke each other yet,
To
but
them, we're still in the
Yes,
Renaissance.
We haven't hit future tech.
they'd be like, they would just be like, if we go in there and fuck with them now, who knows what we could make or not make. Like, we could just stop our industrialization and all of our technology research because we'd just be like, well, fuck, let's just ask them if they can give us some shit.
What if we're
They'd be like, who knows? Maybe they'll make something that the aliens couldn't make.
What
you
if
know what I
like
mean?
they happen to discover that before us, but we're still slightly ahead of them as far as like weaponry goes?
That's what I'm saying.
And
Like,
they're just like planting spies to figure out.
Yeah,
our
what if we were so
information?
focused on war and they're just like, no, let's explore
like
the
they were
universe.
focused on
and
travel.
we're just like, hey, look at this metal tube that shoots kinetic projectiles out with the force of explosions expanding in a confined space. And they're like, what?
They're like, whoa, dude, we just saw
So,
spears.
like you said, it could be like a thing of Civ, but like
yeah.
turns out like every alien you don't realize, but it's actually like a DNA copy of you.
So can you imagine just sitting there and be like, yo, get out of here. This planet's ours. And they're like, really? And they just show us a picture of Cleopatra and them hanging out at the pyramids.
And we're like, yo, what the
I
fuck,
was like,
dude?
we did this.
I made this
Like
shit.
he's
What
the
do you
one.
mean
He was the
it's
one that
yours?
was there that took the pic. Like he had the picture taken of himself. He's like, I've been around for a while.
You think you invented selfies, boy?
Yeah, you got thumbs up.
I
Him at the
mean, that would be
pyramids.
kind of cool to figure out. Like they discovered a whole thing. They're like, we no longer age. We don't have that problem.
Yeah, it's like, you guys still
It's like-
biologically die?
we
Dumb.
rushed our way to get through space and learn how to survive. You guys rushed your way to killing each other.
You still have plagues.
Congratulations.
Oh my God. How 2 billion years ago?
How
Jesus.
2 billion years ago.
That'd be a very interesting interaction with aliens, to be
Yeah.
honest.
I feel like our world governments would be scared.
They would as soon as
They'd
they
be
showed
like,
up.
"Fuck
Everybody
this."
except for like Switzerland and the Netherlands.
They'd be like, okay.
They'd be like, hey! And
Coup
Japan
d'etat.
would just be like, yo, what's up? And everybody else would be like, no, kill him.
I like your Japan accent.
Yo, what's up?
Yo, what's up?
That's all they'd be like, man. Korea'd probably be alright too. South Korea'd be like, yo.
South Korea.
Alright, so now.
North Korea would be like,
Don't step foot here. Don't come here.
please no.
This is South Korea active aggression.
North Korea would be like, Kim Jong Un's still alive.
Yeah. Kim Jong Un,
Hey, it's confirmed. He is still alive. He's still alive.
he made the aliens. They're coming here to pick him up. To be their god.
You're gonna pick him up. Whoa,
That's
well,
what
look.
they'd say.
they
Well,
picked
that's
him
what
up.
that's exactly what they'd say. They'd be like, well, they're coming to take the almighty leader
How do you
to
think?
rule them.
How do you think crazy religious fanatics would act?
It's Jesus!
Yeah. So imagine that.
I'd be
Whole
terrified
nother
to see
scenario.
that.
Or it's
yeah.
the devil's tricks.
Yeah, exactly.
Either or.
Or
No,
the
it's-
end times.
Yeah,
Could
it's
just
the
be
rapture.
the rapture happening.
Okay, so here's the thing though. When we're gonna be optimistic here.
What if Jesus was an alien?
Whoa, we're gonna be optimistic. What if he just had like snowshoes? What if he just had like
Whoa.
he just had like waders on? It was just like running really hard in the water. It was just like a really shallow spot. He just found a rock and was standing on it.
And he was just doing like a morning. He was just doing like a normal exercise, and they were like,
Nor-
"Whoa!"
nor-
And he was like,
normal morning.
"Oh,
run, and
yeah,
he just
yeah.
legs
Yeah.
crossed.
"Yeah, crazy dude."
But so when the aliens, being optimistic, do show up, would you prefer them to be like, you know, Chronicles of Riddick aliens, where they all are basically humans, but they just have like a little bit of differences? You know, some of them bleed blue or whatever. Or do you want to just be like, absolutely, what's going on? That boy's Cthulhu.
So like, if in Mass
For-
Effect terms, it'd be Krogans, which are the big tank boys, the lizards basically,
Yeah, giant toad men.
or
with
the
scales.
Asari that are all humanoid except for their weird tentacle hair.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I mean, it depends. If I would want it to where it was like, the most peaceful interaction possible.
So definitely than human
Yeah.
aliens.
something that we can relate to.
Humanoid aliens. They can't be like totally human looking
hmm
because then
Then
the government's will get paranoid. That's like, and the people will get paranoid. They're in the government. And the government will get paranoid. They're in the people.
they're in the people.
You know, they're hiding in the crowd. They're here to assassinate us and take
No,
over.
I feel like if they were like that, though,
But,
it'd be easier
yeah.
to like interact.
Well, if they show up and they have like,
That's another thing. Language barrier.
if they have like humanoid bodies, you know, just like a distinguishable face, arms, and you know they're bipedal,
Yeah.
but they're like purple. I think
Yeah,
that would
that'd
go
be
over
fine.
easily
Yeah.
because you know
Yeah,
we're
sure.
not going to be paranoid that they're hiding among us. They're purple,
hmm
but they're a shape and there's something we can recognize. They don't look like a monster because people, if we see something,
They don't have
you know,
like claws
yeah,
and all.
let's say they
tentacles
look
and-
like the alien from Alien, but they're totally
That's not
peaceful.
going
Yeah, like they're cool. Would be like, no, you're fucking
But
not.
they look like the aliens, so we're immediately like, nope, you're monsters. You're here to kill us. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Nukes.
We kill you.
It'd be about what it is.
Yeah.
We would totally start a war and accident if they looked spooky.
Your blood is acid. Goodbye.
Because no
What
way
are you
they
talking
walk,
about? Our
even the
blood
way they
smells like
walk, we'd be
lilac.
like, nah, you're coming to kill us.
They'd be like, what are you talking about?
No.
We bleed lilac flower petals.
We're like,
So,
yeah,
really-
I smell a lot of it.
realistically, if they were to be more
Smells like
human,
acid.
be more humanoid looking, then I feel like that'd go over better.
They just can't be totally.
Plus, it'd also be a lot easier to read like what we think their body language would be like, as opposed to like
But their
alien.
culture, since they're from a different planet, their culture could be totally weird. Like laughing could mean like, we're gonna kill you now. Like, oh.
That's
It
what I'm
could
saying.
be.
Language, like,
Or like they could just.
how
like,
would we
But,
even
like, they're
interact?
super angry and aggressive, and that could just be like, you're my best friend.
But
I
like
love
the
you
way
so much.
they're like the way they would move their body would indicate a lot. As we're like, for all we know, aliens, they could just crouch down and you're like, oh, it's gonna fucking kill me.
It's bounce, right?
Yeah, it's
Bounce.
about to fucking
Exactly.
get me.
But it's
You
just
wouldn't
like,
know.
But it's just saying, hey.
It's just getting down to your
Yeah.
level because it's fucking 8 feet tall.
I mean,
It's like, I want to look
It
you in the eye.
sticks
like a
out that
respectful
little-
man.
sticks out the
Respectful man,
extra
you're just
little
like,
mouth.
blah, and you shoot it.
extra little mouth comes out,
It's like,
and then
what
you
the
freak
fuck,
out because you
bro?
don't know what it is, but that's how they talk.
Or what if they were like little goldfish creatures and they were just like floating in a tank?
However, I do also feel like if the aliens showed up, but they were peaceful, they have the ability and the technology to completely overpower us. And we're
Mhm.
like, oh, we want to kill them. And they're
Yeah.
just like, nope. And they round us all up and they just hold us still. And they're just like, chill the fuck out.
We're good.
We're not going to eat you. Just need you to relax.
Then what's that guy doing over there while he's
Oh,
eating someone?
5 fucking minutes.
And they're like,
Speaking
I
of
don't know about
aliens
him.
eating, it reminds me of the old Godzilla Final Wars movie, where the aliens show up and that they eat people.
Wow.
Yep, they take over. Like essentially, they'll go in their body and eat the people. It's pretty sweet. That's what they talk about, like herding them like cattle.
He said, pretty
Getting
sweet.
them to agree to everything.
Is it now?
Yeah,
I want to die that way.
I think Wayne's an alien.
it's pretty sweet as far as like a movie aspect.
He wants to die that way in the swamp.
With
Dun,
his
dun,
gators.
dun.
Gators.
That's how you eat
Water
alligator.
puppies.
Gators on
I
the
s-
outside.
I cut
alien
their
on the
stomach.
inside.
I cut the stomach open. I get up in there. And that's how I just survive.
You just walk around in your gator suit. Get the giant mouth on top. My name's Wayne.
Wayne gets shot the first day he lives in
Some
Louisiana.
hillbilly's up there just like, oh my god, walking gator! Bang!
It's his picture next to it.
It just falls off you. You're like,
Oh, jeez.
Why'd you do that to me?
Why?
why'd you do me, Dan? Why'd you do me
Cletus.
dirty?
Cletus
Just shoots me, and then I just claim Dick Cheney.
You claim Dick Cheney?
Didn't he go home after that?
Yeah, he left.
Blast that guy in the face.
Pretty
like,
sure he left, then he called the cops.
Yeah, he's like, alright, bye. Thought he was a bird.
Like,
Like,
I was
Our
out.
lawyer?
I was out here with my sweet hunting gear on, and he shot me.
He shot me.
He was in a gator. Prove it.
Prove it. A ripped open gator right next to you.
He was in a gutted gator.
You're like-
Wearing it like a creep.
The cops are like, okay, dude.
To be honest
They
with
would
you.
they would not believe him.
No.
To
They'd
be honest with
believe
you, I think that
him.
guy's a little psychotic. He was wearing that gator like a skin.
That's when they'd just be like, "That's not possible."
You
Little
sure
do
are
they
going to
know,
jail.
I already stashed the body.
You stashed a gator and are getting ready to get another.
Yeah, well, I already had backups
You
at
managed to
home.
dig the only hole in the marsh that didn't fill in with water.
Exactly.
Well, it filled in with water, but I'd stomp it down in there.
Water's not compressible. You ain't stomping nothing.
Shut up.
You ain't stopping nothing.
Mark's the kind of guy that's like, "Oh, I'm in the shower, might as well shit." I mean, he shits and he's like, "Oh, stomp that down the drain."
You're the one who's talking about stomping stuff. How'd you
Yeah,
turn this on
stomping
me?
a gator skin
Stomp a
down
gator,
into a
stomp
hole.
some shit. It's the same thing in my book.
Wow.
You shit gator skin? You can make a lot of money off of that, son.
I shit gator skin and I wear poop.
Jesus.
All right, that took a big
What
turn.
the fuck? Why'd you have to wear poop?
I thought we were doing opposite day.
Nope.
No,
I
that
think
went a
you were
little-
doing
that
opposite
went a
day.
little
Well,
bonkers.
in that case, I don't believe in aliens.
I wouldn't live in the mountains.
I'm just really good at playing devil's
All right.
advocate.
Yeah, sure you are. That's time's up.
Time's up.
Let us know. Aliens. Do you think they're
Aliens.
real?
You fucks with them?
You fucks with aliens or what?
You
Tell me.
found a clown?
You fuck with
Uh,
the war?
You
Yeah,
dancing
let
dirty?
us know that. Let us know where you'd like to live.
Yes.
Also, let us know who you think's gonna win this year between me, my brother, and my dad.
The only name you get is Wayne, so vote wisely.
Exactly.
It's the only one on the vote.
I'm the only one on the ballot. It's easy win, I promise.
You can fill in a name. As long as it's not his brother or dad.
Yep.
As long as it says
The only votes we're gonna count are
Wayne.
the ones that are from me.
All the votes that end up being for your brother and dad are going to be on accident because people guess their name.
Wayne.
My dad's name is Wayne.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of people are gonna put Wayne.
Oh, you win either way.
Exactly. All right, time's up, guys.
Goodbye.